He doesn't even know how to see. He doesn't even know how to tell who's what.
Still reading the board. But you get the Soundpeats Air4. And I will have a 4-hour flight if I ever board this thing to test out sound. So, yeah, we're gonna test out the sound over the next 4 hours.
1 through 4 only.
Oh, yeah. Please hold.
Every time I adjust it, it's like, oh look, another settings. I'm not using these during the flight.
Why not?
Because we're gonna fall out. And the ANC is there. I have ANC on, like I have a full conversation.
Really? You can hear me okay?
Like perfectly clear.
Oh wow.
I'm also blasting this Spanish lesson, and I can still hear you clearly.
Wow. So much for ANC.
I am not using it. I can't smile, or I have to stick smiling. Otherwise, the headphones will fall out. Here, hanging by a thread.
Hanging by a thread. At least you can hear. What?
You should do that on the flight.
Yeah, fine.
No. We're gonna use wired headphones. We're going back to that live.
This package will give you on 26 hours of total playback. That's 30 charges in the case and about 6 hours in my testing for each charge on the earbud. The case can be charged via USB-C and get a full charge within 2 hours. These rock Bluetooth 5.3 with multi-point connect, which seemed to work pretty well once connected. I had no issues getting my laptop and my phone connected together. They also have aptX lossless codecs for your higher quality music sources, but sadly only have AAC and SBC for lower quality sources. However, none of this may matter because of the design of the earbud. The design is a semi-in-ear, which means that there's no silicone tip and a more loose seal than standard in-ear headphones. While some people prefer this design, in my experience this tends to lead to a less secure fit. The plastic design is IPX4 waterproof, but doesn't provide a ton of grip for daily use. You're going to really have to try these headphones to make sure that these work for you. They work better for 𝐕𝐈𝐃𝐄 as they stayed in but felt loose over a period of time. They still didn't instill a great sense of security. For me, they were completely unusable. Simply walking around would cause these to fall out no matter how secure they felt initially. I had to do a lot of adjustments throughout the day, and it would activate every control possible. For now, let's set that aside and let's move on to microphones.
So we're getting ready for a little night workout, but I want to get an indoor sample of the microphones just to give you guys a good sense of how this sounds indoors. There's an air conditioner running, you might be able to hear that. But from what I've noticed so far testing, the microphone kind of comes in and out, so you might notice that more outside. It's a little bit more controlled indoors, but yeah, here's the microphone sample indoors. Let me know what you think, but let's switch outside. All right, so here's an outdoor sample of the microphones. From what I know from talking to my clients with these don't sound all that great. Noise canceling is obviously not there, so you hear a lot of things. And the microphones are advanced, so you can basically hear everything. Super robotic. But yeah, not great. So let's go into the field and finish a workout. Get some range, understand the fit of these. We'll be right back with that stuff.
As I've stressed before, these do not roll well with me in terms of fit. Walking around caused fit issues, so imagine what jumping rope and cardio activities would do. They're just not going to be very good for these headphones. These things fell out almost immediately, and I spent the better part of 10 minutes trying to get different angles to find a fit. The most I could last was about a minute before the earbuds fell out. I had to use another set of headphones just to finish each segment.
Okay, that's not good.
But I sure did try to get these to fit. With each different exercise, I tried to put these in and find a fit, but they never stayed in. I will say that I was impressed with the almost 100-yard range, but I couldn't get a good use out of that range due to the fit issues. I literally had to hold these earbuds in my ear while walking down the field. As we moved to weights, the earbuds did stay in better, so maybe less dynamic workouts will be okay for these. Just don't open your jaw too much when drinking water or they might pop out. With the workouts done, let's go into active noise cancelling and transparency.
So as you talk about ANC and transparency, first of all, there is no transparency mode. So that's somewhat unfortunate because usually they come with that paired with the ANC as well, since they're using the microphones anyway. However, you really may not have an issue with these because the seal is not the strongest. Therefore, you can still hear your surroundings relatively clearly. So if that's an issue for you, these semi-in-ear headphones likely will give you the situational awareness you need. However, to me, that's not really a feature. That's really just saying that there's not a great seal, so you can hear everything around you. Now that comes into ANC. While it is present and it does somewhat help, it's really not as effective as you would have an in-ear headphone. Obviously, the semi-in-ear design leaks a lot of noise, so even though the ANC is on, you're still gonna hear everything around, and it's not a big bump in giving you some isolation, so not a great thing. I have a feeling that this is also going to be the case with the lossless audio. So they have an aptX and all that sort of stuff, or aptX lossless to help with the high quality sources. However, you're really not going to be able to get the quality of it because of that lack of seal. But we'll get into the music section a little bit later. Let me show you some samples of the damn, my gimbal decided to die on me. Sorry about that. But let's go into some ANC samples so you guys get a good understanding of how this sounds in different environments.
ANC on. ANC on.
So originally I was going to shoot this with the microphones off of the headphones. However, as we've established to this point in this review, those microphones aren't great. So I don't want to subject you guys to that for the next like 2 to 4 minutes on this music analysis. So I'm just going to use my phone. I'm not going to bring out a microphone because I don't want to ruin that. And the reason why I'm scared of that is because I got to test the waterproofing. Not intentionally, but because I dropped these when I was testing them. I was trying to get the tracks for you, like get some sound samples and all that sort of stuff and get a good sense of the music. And these things fell in a couple of times. So yeah, I lost them for a better part of a minute right before I shot this. But I can tell you that the waterproof rating stands. These work still, and they don't sound any weirder. So yeah, waterproof rating good. If you need to splash them or they fall into the pool or something, you should be fine. You still have working headphones. So don't worry about that. But as we talk about the music, this is where I have to have a little bit of caveat. I will say that these obviously will be a little bit quieter because of the seal. However, in my previous review of the Wings 2, I recommended that you guys use the adaptive because it's a little bit more neutral. It prevents instruments from overpowering each other, and overall is really good. That's not the case with this one because of the fact it still does the neutral, like making things neutral and preventing overpowering. I do like the sound signature, don't get me wrong, but it does bring down the volume like 4 notches, which kind of sucks. And with these not having a seal and you being able to hear things from your surroundings, you need every bit of volume that you can get. So I would recommend using just the standard classic version because it has a little more energy. It is significantly louder, so you need that. And then in terms of the sound signature, it is lacking some bass. So I would recommend using the ANC because it does improve that bass quality and gives it a little bit more punch. And again, without the seal, you're gonna need all the help that you can get. So having those 2 settings active will make your experience with these headphones a lot better. Okay, with that out of the way, let's talk about music. So for these headphones, If you're listening to something that's like more a cappella, things with strings, horns, instrumentals that don't have very powerful bass in the actual composition, then it's actually really good because it has haunting staying power on the voices, especially if the voices are lighter. Strings sound amazing. Horns sound very, very good. They just are very bright. And I really appreciated those sort of tracks. Where it starts to falter is when there's a reliance on the bass element or hard percussions. So like people who listen to EDM, people who listen to Afro beats, R&B, those sort of things are going to struggle because they're going to be wanting a little bit more oomph in their sound and they're just not going to be able to get it. And I think having a silicone seal would also help with that, but it's hard for me to say that the bass is emaciated because I just can't get a good seal with these no matter how hard I try. So silicone tips might make the sound signature of these play out better. However, with the setup that they have, it's just weird because you can't get more out of it. So it still sounds fine. It's just missing elements that you'd want. So like an example here, like Bruno Mars with Skate, it is great because it's vibey, you kind of get the sense of the vocals sound very clear. However, you're just going to wish there was a little bit more punch in the bass lines. And just because of how that song is tuned and mixed, you do want that to give you that vibe and really give you that punch. So it does take away from the song a little bit, but overall it's still serviceable. So I think you guys really definitely need to try this out. I don't think a lot of people will like it because of that lack of bass, and that's just something that I've noticed. But if I made a playlist that was lighter, lighter Afro beats, like brass tracks, strings, a cappella groups, it would definitely work for that entire playlist. So I'm going to give you guys some samples of some songs I recorded before I left for my trip. And then you guys can just watch me chill at the pool before I lost these headphones in the pool. So let me know what you guys think of these samples.
So to keep this plain and simple, I can't recommend these. These are $71, meaning that they should be doing a lot more. There are some promising features in here like multi-connect 5.3, lossless aptX, a lot of stuff that should give you really good headphones in terms of connectivity and sound. However, the semi-in-ear design and the lack of grip and just the strange structure of the bulb for these earbuds just make it really hard to get a seal. It works for some people, it doesn't work for me. The technology is there, it's just the execution on the actual physical structure is very, very wonky. I would say if you're interested in these, try them on Amazon so you can return them, but you need to really make sure that that fit works for you. I know that classic AirPods work fine for my ears, but for some reason, despite being a similar shape, these don't fit. That's really unfortunate because there's some promising stuff, as I mentioned. There's some things that were nice convenience, and I was really interested into hearing lossless when using Amazon Music with these. But again, despite having those codecs active, it's not going to help when you really can't
get a proper seal to get the thump and the groove and the mids and all that sort of stuff that you'd expect from your music. So from a foundational perspective, these fail out the gate by failing on sound. So that's unfortunate. Hopefully we can do some more stuff with Soundpeats. They have some interesting stuff that have actual silicone tips, so actual in-ears. They also have some things that are out-ear, or just like a speaker around your ear. Those are some things that I may be looking at, because I'm still looking for my ideal Soundpeats. But thank you guys so much for sticking around with this review. If you could, please like, subscribe, comment, do all the things you normally do on a video that you like and love. And we got more headphone content coming up. Just stay locked. As always, I appreciate you. Peace.